Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the channel if you're new here. I've recently been working on a Honda Izzy lawnmower project. I stripped it apart completely and restored the deck, and I made a time-lapse video about that. So if you want to see that time-lapse video, I'll put a link to that in the description below. The lawnmower also had a broken clutch cable, so I made a short video showing you how to repair broken clutch cables. And the last piece to the puzzle is giving this blade a sharpen. So this week's video is going to be about how to sharpen lawnmower blades. I know there's thousands of videos out there already about this topic, but this is my take on it, and I hope you find this video useful. Before removing the blade, it's a good idea to disconnect the spark plug. Now you want to tilt your lawnmower up as per the manufacturer's recommendations. For the Honda Izzy, you tilt it with the exhaust pipe facing the ground. I'm using a piece of wood. I'm just going to put that through here, rotate the lawnmower blade until it locks up. Now I can use my breaker bar to loosen off the two bolts which are securing the blade. So once you've removed your lawnmower blade, the first step is to give it a good clean. You don't want any bits of rust and dirt stuck to the lawnmower blade, because that's going to affect the balance in the end when you come to balance the blade. I've given this lawnmower blade a sandblast and then coated it in an epoxy primer, so it's nice and rust resistant. If you don't have access to a sandblaster, that's alright. You could use a wire wheel, perhaps on a grinder or a drill, and then just give it a clean up, get rid of any loose bits of rust and grass that might be stuck in these holes, because you don't want that affecting the balance in the end. If we take a closer look at the leading edge on this lawnmower blade, you can see lots of gouges and chips, so this blade will really benefit from being sharpened. Let's look on the other side, and it's the same story there. For this job I'm going to be using a 60 grit flap disc on my grinder. I've got some ear defenders and some safety glasses, and I'm wearing gloves. I'm going to go put this in the vise now and sharpen up this leading edge on both sides of the blade. And I want to start off by getting rid of any of these dinks. So I'm going to use the grinder and just flatten off the edge of this blade. So we're making it blunt to start with, just getting rid of this edge to the lowest point. So this gouge here is the biggest gouge, so I'm going to go to the bottom of this gouge and just flatten it off. I'm going to clamp the blade in the vise this way around, but you could clamp it this way, whichever's more comfortable. The trouble is putting it this way, it does tend to move a little bit in the vise, but it's fine for putting pressure on this edge, which is what we want to do first. If we take a look at the edge now, you'll see that this here is the lowest gouge. So we want to keep going until this is all even. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. So now we've flattened this back and we've removed all the dinks, we can put our angle on here, and we want to aim for between 35 and 45 degrees. You don't want the angle too acute, because then you'll get a wafer thin edge here and it will damage really easily. If this is the first time the lawnmower blade has been sharpened, you could always follow the angle that was set at the factory, but for this we're just going to guesstimate 35 to 45 degrees. It's very nice. So we're going to do the same on the other side now. So the leading edge nice and sharp on both sides of the blade now. we want to make sure that it's sharpened evenly. So if we just get the tape measure, let's just measure how long our cut is. So it's 10 centimeters, 10.5 centimeters on that side. Let's see how far I've sharpened it on this side. 10.5 on that side as well. So it's nice and even. Now we've just got a few burrs on the back of this. I'm not going to take those off yet because we want to make sure that the blade is balanced. For checking the blade balance, it's really simple. I've just got a nail in this board here, and then we're just going to balance the blade on the end of this nail, making sure that the nail sits right in the centre of this hole. And that way you should be able to see if the blade is balanced. As you can see, this side looks a bit heavier, so I'm just going to remove a little bit more material off of this side and then try again. And while we're here, I'm just going to do one pass off the back edge to remove the burr. Same on the other side. And if we check the balance now, we can see that that's virtually spot on. And the last thing I like to do is just paint up this bare edge. So there we go, that's how I sharpen a lawnmower blade. Thank you for watching as always. I hope you found this video useful and you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and if you click that little alarm bell, you'll get notifications when I post new videos. That's the Honda Izzy finished now. I've just got to wait for this paint to go off and then I'll put the blade back on the lawnmower. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, take care. I like to use a small amount of copper grease on the face of this pulley here, and that's just to stop the blade from corroding up against this, and it'll make it easier to remove next time.